Two 14-year-old boys are missing at sea, and the search is still very active. They were last seen Friday afternoon. Their boat, a 19-foot motorboat not meant for deep-sea trips, found capsized and damaged Sunday about 70 miles off the central Florida coast. Both boys are said to be avid fishermen, and both families are clinging to the hope that they are alive in the water. CNN correspondent Alina Machado is live in Florida with the latest. Alina, what do we know?
Well, Chris, these families are living a nightmare. They spent the weekend searching for the boys, asking for the public's help, and hoping the children will be found safe. The desperate search for two teen boaters missing off the coast of Florida since Friday evening, intensifying overnight. Their capsized 19-foot white single-engine vessel found overturned 67 nautical miles off Florida's Ponce de Leon Inlet, with no trace of 14-year-old Perry Cohen and Austin Stefanos.
As a mother, the worst feeling ever, not knowing where your child is.
Cohen and Stefanos, both avid boaters, embarked on a fishing trip Friday morning. The pair was last seen at about 1:30 p.m. in the Jupiter, Florida area, buying $110 worth of fuel. A few hours later, vanished. Early reports to the Coast Guard indicated the boys had told others they planned to travel to the Bahamas. The Coast Guard's search efforts on the sea and from the air now spanning more than 26,000 square nautical miles.
It can be very tricky, especially searching from the air. It's a needle in a haystack out there.
The effort to find the two teens getting some big-name support from family, friend, and neighbor, NFL Hall of Famer Joe Namath, who helped the families raise a $100,000 reward for the boys' safe return.
We're optimistic. We're praying. The Coast Guard is wonderful. The history of the high seas shows survival rates over the years. There have been miracles out there, and we're planning on finding the children.
The teens' families praying for a miracle.
None of us are giving up hope. Obviously, it's a terrifying experience to be living through, but I have 100% faith that they will find our boys.
The Coast Guard tells me their search right now is focusing on an area just off of Jacksonville, Florida. That's north of where the capsized boat was found. So far, the area they've searched is about as big as the state of Indiana, and it's expected to grow as the search continues today. Michaela?
All right, Alina, thank you so much for that. Joining us on the phone right now is Coast Guard Petty Officer Mark Barney, who joins us live from Miami. Good morning to you, sir. Hopefully you can give us a bit of an update on the search area. It sounds like such a tremendous effort.
Yes. Good morning, Michaela. Yes, thank you for having me first. And right now, the search efforts are focused off the coast of Jacksonville. Based off of weather conditions, he states, we believe that if these boys are in the water, that the current has drafted them north.
Give us an idea of the conditions you're facing there right now. We understand there was some stormy weather over the weekend. What are conditions like right now?
Yes, ma'am. There was stormy weather over the weekend. However, it has cleared up over the past 24 hours. Right now, the weather looks like it's about 78 degrees, partly cloudy. Seas are about 3 feet. So it's not most preferable conditions right now. We prefer everything cloudy and everything clear and the seas flat. However, this is something that we can get through, and like I said, we're doing everything we can to bring these boys back home to their families.
So give us an idea of what that effort entails. Obviously, you're putting your full weight into this. What kind of resources do you have assisting?
Absolutely. Well, through the night, we've had air crews out of Coast Guard Air Station Clearwater flying throughout the entire night. Right now, we also have an air station Clearwater C-130 searching right now, and we have the Coast Guard Cutter Paul Clark searching in the water.
What is it that's keeping you so hopeful? Is it the fact that these two young boys were fit and able-bodied, and the fact that they were, avid sportsmen? They spent a lot of time in the boat and on the water. Is it the fact that the temperature of the water is more favorable for survival?
Well, it would be very hard for us to do our jobs if we didn't hold on to some form of hope. We are pleased to know that, these boys, they pretty much spend their lives on the water, fishing, recreational boating. So if anything that would help, that's definitely something that we're glad to hear. But yeah, absolutely, we still have hope that we can possibly find these boys.
We understand they had told others that they were looking to travel to the Bahamas. We also understand another boater saw them gassing up their boat and wondered why they were going out in stormy weather. Do we know if there was any distress call placed? Were there any radio transmissions at all from their craft?
Not to my awareness, that's related to this case for Austin and Perry. We get distress calls on a constant basis.
Okay.
But nothing that resembles anything that would have been out of the Jupiter area relating to Austin and Perry.
You can identify if it would have come from their craft, from their watercraft.
And it would have been very difficult to identify it completely, especially if they didn't pass any information, their names, where they were at, especially their location. Now, when we've been searching since Friday afternoon, since 5 o'clock p.m., and searching to right now, nonstop.
We also know that there's a lot of watercraft out there. We know there's a lot of boats in the area, and obviously the call has gone out to other mariners that are out there, fishermen, other craft that would be out there on the water. What is the message that you want to tell other boaters who might be around there?
For the other boaters that are out there in the water right now, we just ask that they stay alert and aware. We put out the pictures of Austin and Perry, put their names out there. So if they do see somebody that resembles that, obviously they see people in the water, to report it as soon as possible to the authorities, whether to dial 911 or contact the Coast Guard directly. We just hope that people out there are paying attention and are on the lookout.
And I suppose, and I hate even going there, but we know that these boys didn't tell their parents they were going. This is a cautionary tale for other parents and for other young people that like being on the water.
It is, unfortunately. It's one of those things that when people go out there in the open water, we want them to have fun. We want them to enjoy themselves and do whatever they want to do. However, we just want people to do it safely. Hopefully, one of the boys has a life jacket on, just together, hopefully. And this is one of the things, is unfortunately one of the situations that can happen out there to anybody at sea.
Yeah, to anybody. We know that all too well. Even the most seasoned, this can happen to. Well, we are going to join the prayers that a miracle will happen. Thank you so much for joining us, Petty Officer Mark Barney of the Coast Guard. Thanks for joining us with the information.
Thank you, man.
We've seen people live through a lot worse. I know it sounds dire when you're hearing that, and if they did have jackets on, that could make all the difference. So we'll stay on that, and we're wishing the best for those boys and their families. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back,